Hello to, I'm not sure if anybody's actually in chat right now, but that's alright. Anyway, another evening, another Gamedev stream. And I did do some work today, but it wasn't much. So hopefully I can actually wrap up some work tonight. So last time I finished, or worked some more on the file loading stuff and finished a solution for the problem of ordering draws. So because objects are on different layers, they need to be drawn in the order of the layers from back to front. And so I made a mechanism that allows this kind of ordering conveniently. So now the issue is to rewrite the chunk, which is the actual Tilemap rendering mechanism, in a better way. And so I started with this. I've ported a bunch of stuff over, but I have not tested a single bit of it. So hopefully today I'm going to get to that, to the testing part. So those are the only uses of that, are they? No, not quite. Tiles in view. Size. Okay. Don't I have a Vmax? I think I have a Vmax. Reduce. Wait, what does that do? Vec name. I think that returns the maximum component. I should be live everywhere. Try refreshing. YouTube is sometimes very weird. I had to reload too because it gets confused about things sometimes. I don't know. YouTube has given me a lot of problems. It is live on YouTube now. I can actually watch it there, so I don't know. What does this do? Loop for res and val, then 2vec v max, 2vec av max. So max vx. Okay, it does a component-wise max, which is actually what I want. Great. Should probably just check the documentation. Except, wait. Why is size, did I just mistype that? Probably, right? No, wait, huh? What? This is weird. Oh, okay, good that it's confirmed that it works. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is just, ugh. There's been more days where YouTube just flat out didn't work at all, than not, so. Value tiles in view. Okay. I should be able to just do that instead. Okay. Much better. Alright, so I think I should talk a bit about how this technique of rendering actually works, that I have figured out. I'm sure I'm not the first to figure this out or anything, but it's an interesting technique nonetheless, because typically what people end up doing when they want to render tiles is, let me see, we'll get to this stuff later. It's just, so typically what they do is they say, okay, you know, let's just make, why is this so slow, Jesus? Let's just make vertices for every tile that I have. So I make a quad for every tile that I have that I want to draw. And then I can sort of save a few verts by sharing the edges and what have you. And I assigned UV coordinates to each of the vertices. That says, actually you can't share the vertices if you change the UVs, so never mind. And you assign UVs that correspond to what you want to draw in the tilemap. So you have a separate tilemap that has something in it. So hold on. Let's say we have, or actually, we have a tilemap as well. And why is it so goddamn slow? Holy shit. Right, so this is like, I don't know, this is a 1 and 2. And mouse drawings are my favorites. And I forgot to turn off my fucking speakers because I'm a genius. Okay. Anyway, so you have some stuff in there. And then you just set the UV coordinates to be the coordinates corresponding to that. So, for instance, if you wanted to draw the 1 here, you would correspond this edge. Why is it so slow? I've never had this problem with that sprite before. I don't understand. It's just... Whoa. Holy moly. What is happening? Yeah, so you correspond these edges to the coordinates in the texture, in the tile set, and then you get the tile there. And so this is a bad idea for multiple reasons. First reason of which is obviously that you're going to need huge vertex buffers if you have a huge number of tiles that you want to render. So since you need to have, for each quad you need 4 vertices, which is 4 floats plus wait, that's 4 times 3 plus 4 times 2 floats. So it's quite a lot of storage that you need for each tile, and that explodes pretty quickly. And so what do you think? Okay, I guess I could use a thing called instancing. Instancing basically means that you can draw the same object again with only a bit of data varied every time. So you say, okay, let's be smarter. We'll define only one quad with UV coordinates 0 to 1 and the correct size. And then we have a uniform, or not a uniform, but a instance array that for each instance it contains a number or a vector that says which tile you want. So you would have, if we have a vector, you would say, okay, I want the tile at position 1, 1, and then you get this tile. And then in your shaders, you perform a small computation for each instance, and you translate these 0 to 1 UV coordinates into the coordinates here by dividing through the total size of the tile set, and then multiplying by the XY you get from the instance. So this is a bit smarter. Obviously, you don't waste as much storage anymore. You waste a lot less. The problem kind of is that instancing in OpenGL is, or instancing in the graphics APIs in general, is meant for objects that have a couple hundred vertices. And for whatever reason, in practice, instancing is actually slower if you have less vertices than that than if you just repeatedly drew the same quad. So that's kind of weird, isn't it? So what you do instead is an entirely different technique, which is what I implemented, which is you have a single quad that renders the entire screen. So you have one quad that goes over the entire screen. And then in the fragment shader, you figure out what the world position of this pixel is. So you take into account the camera positioning, zooming, and whatever have you, and translate the current view space, or I guess window space coordinate into a world space coordinate, so you know at which point you are. And then you look that pixel up in a texture. And this texture then describes the index into the tileset. So instead of having an instance array describing these indices into the tileset, you now have a texture. And this texture basically tells you what the level or the tile map looks like. And so that's what we're doing here. And this is a sort of a debug tile set, which has a, well, not extremely distinguishable but unique color for each tile, which actually looks kind of weird. And we want to render, and I'm going to use this to check that things are okay. I also created a quick test map, which looks like this. So we're only going to need 2 channels for our tile maps. In PNG's case, it's a grayscale and an alpha channel, which is kind of annoying to deal with. So this is just alpha 0 and grayscale 0, and the rest are alpha 255 and varying grayscale values. Okay, so that's all fine and good. Now, when we load this tile map into memory, we get something like this, which is a flat array, and this flat array has alternating channel values. So you see at the end here we have a gray value of 0 and a alpha value of 255, and at the top you have all zeros. So we load that in and we plaster this into a texture 2D array. Because we want to have multiple layers of the chunk, you might have multiple images, each of which describe one of those layers. At the moment we only have one layer, so it might as well be a texture 2D. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, so you create that texture, it uploads the data there, and then when you actually want to draw, you pass along a bunch of data to our shaders, namely the matrices for view space and model space transformation, but this time inverted, so because we want to get backwards from view space back into model space, or not view space but perspective space, I guess, back into model space. We also pass along the size of the map, we pass along the size of the view and the size of a tile and which layer we want to draw, which we get from what we implemented previously. And then in the vertex shader, which is only called 4 times, we do this transformation of the UV coordinates into our actual map coordinates, which are in world space, and then we pass that along into the fragment shader, where the actual lookup and the other magic happens. So in the fragment shader, we first do this, which could actually be done in the vertex shader, I'm quite sure. Let's see, could it be? No, it couldn't be. Right. The reason it couldn't be done is because we've performed a truncation here. and this truncation. Okay, let me explain this again. So the vertex shader is called for each vertex that you want to draw, and values that you output, like this map coordinate, when each fragment in the triangle or quad or whatever is drawn, these values are interpolated between the vertices. So that means it's automatically going to linearly interpolate this map coordinate between the 2 points. And we then want to truncate this value to be an fixed integer, because we want to be pixel perfect. And this clamps us to a correct coordinate, which we can then multiply by the tile size. Yeah. I'm not even sure this is necessary. What is map chord? Wait, map size? Oh wait, never mind, that isn't even anything like that. I'm a dumbass. Okay. Yeah, the map size is multiplied by tile size, since map size is in number of tiles rather than in pixels. I'm not sure if this flip is necessary. I'll have to see. Depends on how the texture image is coordinated. In memory, you might have to flip, might not have to flip. Then there's a bounce check to see whether the world coordinates are actually within our texture space at all. And if not, we just return transparent. And then we perform by dividing this coordinate by the tile size, get the actual tile we want to look up, again truncated towards 0, and then we do a modulus to get the pixel offset within the tile that we actually currently want to render for this fragment. And then it's just a matter of fetching from the tilemap and then using that information to fetch the actual pixel from the tile set. So it's not that complicated, but if you get it wrong, it's kind of frustrating, as usual, in graphics, because debugging is horrendous. Alright, so let's just launch this and see what breaks. No asset with facility background. Okay. Main. Yeah, we don't currently have a background, so let's just deactivate that actually. Because I think I should treat the background separately anyway, as a parallax kind of thing. What is this problem? Oh, right, camera is never used. That is just fine. Okay. It's not a... Oh, right. So I don't want an asset. I want pool path. Leaf. What? Oh, right. Camera. Where do you want to list? I really need to get out of the habit of just willy-nilly changing things without recompiling. Let's just load things again. Plus a cost from vec2 to vec5 vec2. Where's is that? void function cannot return a value. What are you talking about? Oh, right. Right. Uh, 20. Text will fetch. That's odd. Does it need to be an I sampler or some bullshit like that? Or a U sampler? Okay. Yeah, okay. U sampler 2D. And then I used the wrong thing. Wait, times 255. That's not necessary. Yeah, okay. Let's set up the scene. Okay, that should fix these problems. Except not implicit cost from UVec2 to IVec2. What do you know? So I guess we'll do... Wait, no, never mind. Is there IVEX? This needs to be a UVec. Set up the scene. Fucking goddamn it. Place a cost from int to u int 22. Place a cost. Yeah. Okay. Now, please. Oh my god! Do I keep doing wrong? Undefined variable view matrix. Oh. So many copy-paste errors. That's what I get, I guess. Incompatible types. Y. That should be XY, and that should be vec2. What do you mean? What do you mean? What's it gonna be this time? Assignment of incompatible types. I don't understand. What incompatible types? 12. Oh, GL position. Oh! I was looking in the wrong place. Wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, so vertexes. Yeah. Okay. Or is it 1? I forget. I think it's 1. Rounding indexes are bad. Eh? What do you mean? Discover expression around. What is this garbage now? Six. 73. What? Okay. Oh, it's right on a problem point, I think. And then it returns that, okay. There we go. Missing parent. Alright, that's unbound. Because I didn't set things up correctly. Region. No, it's not unsigned byte. So it wasn't loaded. And it wasn't loaded, why? Loading 48 assets. It's a lot of assets to load, my man. Why? What are all those assets to load? Okay. Let's see what it says. It's loading all of this crap. Lots of shaders. Way too many. It's loading textures for the window, but not. anything interesting. It's loading text box and all that crap. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. So why is it not loading the debug image? I don't understand. Because it's clearly traversing far enough to compile the shaders. It's just not doing it for that, for the image. Why? Why? Alright. That didn't tell us anything. Let's try trace. What was it called? Compute resources. And that's gonna make a whole bunch of garbage appear on screen. Oh Lord. Alright, goes into the region, and that immediately returns nil. Alright. Huh? What? Wait, what do you mean? How does it get at the shaders then? Huh? Yeah, chunk is never actually touched at all. What? How? Is that through the... Might reach those... No, that should... Oh, right, those are not on the object at all. Those are on the passes anyway. Okay, so that's not the thing. Why is it not traversing... Because it should go through slots directly, generically, to computer resources. That is very, very bizarre. Computer resources region. Why? Hey. It's not an entity, it's a unit. I understand. Should probably be an entity. Yeah. Region. Okay, now, yes. Okay. It is rendering something. Okay. I'm afraid of entering the editor, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, moving and nothing's happening. That's already not great. Camera. Do we not have a camera? Is that a possibility? Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Huh? Oh dear. Enter a region. And then what do you have? Switch level. Pause game. Where does the camera get added? Setup scene. Okay, right. So there should be a camera, but it's not getting ticks. Oh, right, because the editor is active, so... Yeah, so we are changing position after all. Okay, so why is it always rendering the same thing is not a question. And debugging this is gonna be fantastic. So I know resizing won't really do much. Or it shouldn't. So let's see. Ah, man. Oh, we're being called for things that we don't accept. Okay, right. That makes some amount of sense, even though that's not great. So, region layers 1. Okay. Okay, still very similar results. So now we should just have, fuck. Nail. Oh, that's not implemented right then. Current layer. 0. Okay, good. One source of problems eliminated. Okay. Upsize. So just to check, print view matrix. Yeah, it changes. Okay. Why is the refresh not happening? Fuck. It should automatically reload things. And crashes, of course. Invalid operands. Why? Ugh. Come on! What do you mean? How are those invalid operands? Ah, fuck, it did the parenting wrong. God damn it. Today's another stream of swearing, I guess. Okay. So... that's weird. Very strange. Where do I set the clear color? Okay. That's alright, I guess. That's not what the map actually looks like, though. What is happening? I was afraid this was going to happen, just having nothing on screen for the longest time. Okay, so this time it refreshed, that's good. At least we have that going for us. So... actually see. Pixel XY by... okay, so that's working correctly. The offset is doing its job as it should. It's just, for some reason, the camera is not working at all. So the map XY. I don't think the flooring here is necessary. Okay, tile XY increases as well. That's okay. As expected, though again it does not move. Even though we multiply by the view matrix, which does change. Is there a problem in the inversion? That could be a thing. What if I just do that? Okay. Moving still does not change anything. Why? Oh, wait. Might be. So some part of the inversion is correct, but some other part not. Oh Lord, why is this happening? So moving around, oh, we're not in editor mode. Okay, so now it changes. I'm a dingleberry. So the matrix clearly changes, but the display does not. Great. Man, what I wouldn't do for watch points and like inspectors that continuously update and things like that. That would be so good. As I mentioned last time, the debugging experience has things left to wish for. So what's happening here? Why is that? Guess the vertex shader isn't updating. For whatever reason. Oh, no, nothing is updating. Great. Why? Oh, because it's not receiving events, maybe? Is that? Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's... Of course, that's an annoying issue. Huh. Okay, anyway. Okay. It's just not getting the offset. Why? Yeah, the model matrix is absolutely nothing at the moment. So if I do translate by 10:00, absolutely nothing happens. Why? This is so bizarre. How is that possible? Am I looking at the wrong things? Is that what's happening? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this just does not seem to change anything. How? What the fuck? This makes no sense. It's almost as if these matrices aren't... Why do the translations not prep? Is that... I don't get it. I really don't. This is, because of this? No, right? Yeah, that grips later, so that doesn't make any difference. I really don't get this. I really don't get this. Okay. Let's just quickly print the view matrix and do some tests CPU side. Okay. So this is our view matrix, and our model matrix can just be an eye. What does MI do? Hold on, what? Right. Okay, so we have these matrices, and we compute the inverses of those. Okay, and then we take a UV and multiply it by the view size, so like that will be star 200, or let's do it 10. And view size is say 800, 600. View size is yes, okay. Okay, and then we just do mem star of our vec with the view matrix and the model matrix. After we upgrade that, x, y, there we go. Okay. And now if I change this from an MI to an M translation. I get the same vector somehow. What? Holy moly, okay, interesting. Why? Is my inversion wrong? Matrix inversion wrong? Shouldn't be the case. The translation just has no effect whatsoever. Even if I make it huge. Right, yeah. Exactly the same result. And if I make it very small, of course not. What? So hold on. This is that. We do get a -10 in here. So it does grow. What? How is that possible? I don't understand. If I do the y, it's always the same vector. Somehow view matrix destroys things. How's that not making a difference? Holy shit, I'm going crazy. What is happening? What? How is that possible? Okay, so this is... Yeah, I ain't debugging that. Very interesting. So, what if I just send over the standard matrices and then invert them here? I think there's an inverses function in GLSL. Let's see. Inverse. I'm pretty sure that won't do anything at all, but it can't hurt to try. Okay. Yeah, does not seem to change a thing. Yep. Why? How is that? I'm so lost. Why the inverses does not do what I expected to. This makes zero sense. Why? This approach did work in, you know, the other game project I implemented this in. Huh? Don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Translate by. And then translate the model matrix. I don't get it. Why is this not changing anything ever? Even now that they're not inverted at all. Shouldn't this translation do something? I'm so lost. What? What in the fucking hell? Why does that happen now? Excuse me? Okay. This is as expected. Okay. And now we turn this into a vec4. Multiply it and take the x and y. And that does absolutely nothing. How does that do nothing? What do you mean? How can it? I'm fucking so lost. Okay, M star. Vec4. So 1 1 0 1. Yeah. I mean, obviously that has to be the case. But it isn't. How? What is happening? I'm gonna go insane. This makes 0 sense. It's one of these evenings, huh? So this is just doesn't do fucking anything. How? Is this throwing you off? Is that the problem? Is back for no, apparently not. The matrix just doesn't do anything. Why? How is that possible? How is that possible? I don't get it. I know setting the matrices has to work because it's used extensively in everything. I don't get it. I really, really don't. Please send help. There has to be something really, really, really stupid and obvious that I'm overlooking. It just has to be. There just has to be. And there's nothing interfering either. Jesus Christ. I am completely clueless. Yeah, seems nobody really showed up, and meanwhile I'm just going crazy. This is driving me insane. For some reason it's not, or it doesn't seem to be either receiving the proper matrix or just not multiplying right, and I don't know what in the ever-loving hell is happening.
Yay, a wild window appears.
So how do you do that? I think you just clear it and then... uh, 1002. Okay, so that translation matrix somehow works. And the one I send over does not. So it gets lost somehow in the uniforms. How? I don't know. Let's try naming it Model Matrix 2. Introducing Model Matrix 2. Doesn't work. Oh my god. Why not? Yeah, Mirror's Edge is great. Solar Fields is an amazing composer. Okay, so the name was not the problem. Why does this fucking matrix get lost in translation? What the hell is happening in here? So the setf of the uniform does what? No non-definition. What do you mean? There is one. You fuck. Piece of shit. Deleting unreachable code. I know. Oh my god. Trial. Program. Mat 4. Okay. I really don't understand. Transpose. The strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know where to start with this. I honestly don't know. This is I don't know what to do with this. If I'm generating the right matrices CPU side, so that's not the problem. It's just not being received in the vertex shader. And that makes no sense, because for other things, it works just fine. Or at least it used to. What am I not seeing? What am I overlooking? It's doing that because there's an E-type case that's inlined, and it removes cases that can't apply because it knows the types. So what it should do, I just wish it didn't do the warning, because it's intended. Don't understand. I'm gonna restart, and I don't think that's gonna change anything, but I don't know what else could be going on. Was it recompiling trial things? What is happening there? Yep, still same problem. I wanna fucking die, man. Understand this. It's not gonna make a difference yet. That's not the problem. Why? What are you doing to me? It's not like there's colliding variable names or anything like that either. What the fuck is happening? Zero? Okay. That is okay. Well, that narrows it down already. Why is it 0? How is it 0? That makes no sense. Did it get cached improperly somehow? That's the only idea I have right now. still 0. What about the view matrix? That's -1, even worse. Layer? -1, what? What is happening? Huh? Hum. Fucking where's the G key? Okay. What's supposed to happen is that the matrix gets sent over, and then it does a translation, and then it shows the color of, I guess, the position, and so the screen should turn red. Because I'm translating it by 1 in this matrix here, but for whatever fucking reason, these uniforms are just... they don't exist. I don't know what's happening. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. It really is. How are these minus negative? Model matrix is somehow 0. Fuck. Am I not getting the right program? What is this? What is this? You're checking the things I don't know what you're talking about. I'm checking what things before setting what. Somehow only the model matrix exists. I guess it's calling the rest out. That makes more sense. I guess because I'm returning early here, it optimizes the rest of the uniforms out. Okay, so that makes some amount of sense. But that still means the model matrix should be transferred over. And it's not. Good Lord. Why is it not translated? Fuck. I don't get it. 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 Even if I comment these out, yeah, it's not changing anything. Why is... I don't understand a damn thing. Oh, is it this? Is this the problem? Oh my god. It was something really, really dumb and simple, and oh my lord. Thanks, OpenGL, for, you know, letting that compile and not giving me an error. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. Yes, good. Thank you. Okay. Just to be clear, in case you didn't understand what was happening, the problem was that in the GLSL code I was doing this operation, matrix times vector. Wait, no, I was doing vector times matrix. Which I don't know what that does in GLSL, but apparently it returns a vector, but I don't know what that vector contains, whereas the real, you know, standard math operation is matrix times vector equals vector. And vector times matrix equals matrix. But apparently in GLSL, either it silently curses the matrix into a vector somehow, or does something else, I don't know. But man, that cost me an entire hour. Great. Loving it. Thanks for that, mate. Okay. Back to debugging this. No, it's not. It's not transitive. Or, wait, transitive means... I always get these fucking names mixed up. Transitive is which of the three properties? You can do things like if you have matrix times vector, you can either do it like this, or like this. So you can do that, but yeah, anyway, that was horrendous. Hopefully I can fucking figure out what the proper solution is now. Okay, so let's not do the flip right away. First, check in the results. Or just fucking map. So that's yellow, but I don't know if that's correct. That just means they're large values. about if we divide by 2000? Okay, now we got a gradient. And if I move around, the gradient does change. Good. Very good. Okay. Interesting though that the X and Y axis are reversed. Or no, never mind, it's both reversed, okay. Alright, so that part is functioning as it should be. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, right. I need to... Why am I even testing this? I don't know. Okay, so everything is transparent at the moment, which is not great. Sure wish that was not the case. So... what was that? Also, let me just set that to something red so we can see what's outside of the area, which is apparently everything. Why? So map size is what? Size of the chunk, which is times what? Size. Yeah. Okay. That is very odd. I knew debugging this was gonna be a nightmare. I was really hoping it would just work. Because I basically copied an existing implementation, but apparently I'm very wrong on that assumption. What does this do? Okay, it does that, which is... I'm not sure that that's more correct. I'm not sure where this comes from. This seems odd. So, map width height is... Oh my god, all this bullshit.
Since when does anything related to computers just work?
Man, sometimes I have a day where things just work. Those are the good days. So tile size is 8. So... Right, so 320 by 208. So if we do the computation here real quick. So this is... I don't even know what I want to confirm with this. It's bullshit. Why do I need to be punished like this? What have I ever done to deserve this? Oh right, making video games. That's punishment in of itself. Okay. So now it's all red everywhere. Why? Why? The chunk bead should be exactly at the origin, which the camera should be as well. Yeah, camera is 0. Why? Oh, why? Hmm? Wait, what? Alright, it doesn't refresh in editor mode. Okay. Okay, so here we have some more interesting values. Okay, so this is our current view, and it's shrinking instead of growing because I'm an idiot. I forgot to invert. Ah. Yes. Okay. Good. Yes. As expected now. Good. Great. Thank you. Right. Still drawing green. Okay, there's some stuff there. It's red. It's not what's supposed to show up. So this is what it is supposed to show, sort of, indexed into this map. Which means to towards the bottom there should be varying colors of red, and this area should be 0, 0. So that should be white and not green, unless I guess it's flipped maybe. So maybe we do need to flip that. No. Oh, right. Fuck, I keep forgetting. That's, yeah, big problem I need to fix. Okay. That just does that. I mean, I guess sensible enough, but I don't think I need this or want this. So why are they green instead of transparent? Wait, yeah, they should be white, not green. X and Y flipped for some reason. Why are they flipped? At least the zooming works correctly from the get-go. Music ended. Let's just restart. This is very bothersome. Let's see if we... Okay, right, yeah. Yeah. Or, yeah, so this is... Whoa, Nelly. What is happening now? Okay. Yeah, so this is interesting. Okay, I guess I'll just leave the window like that. Yeah. So... No, wait, that's not correct. It shouldn't be 1 on there. What the hell? That's not how that works. It's divided by floor tile size. Yeah, wait, no, I'm dividing by the map size, so it's fine. Yep, I get. No, it's correct. I'm just being a dingus, because it's late, and I've been going crazy for an hour. Okay, so, no, these coordinates are correct, but now the lookup values are wrong. And we need to figure out why. So let's look at the tile value. Like 4 to tile, divide that by 255, 0, 1. Okay, so the tile value apparently is that, which doesn't make sense to me. The only idea I have is that the upload of the texture is wrong somehow. Ah, fuck. I don't know why that would be. I wish there was an easy way for me to actually look at the texture data. Because, yeah. You cannot at the moment. Pixel format, is that? No, that's not correct, is it? Larger integer, I think, should be correct. That might be the problem, maybe? No. Anti-dusting. So that just completely made it to nothing. Yeah, it's zeros everywhere. Why? Internal format. It's RGATUI, that's correct. Pixel format should be RG integer. That is what we're getting. I've checked. Man, I was really hoping not to have to work any more than the stream on this garbage. Especially because I had it working before. Just not in a great way, so this is a pretty big bummer. RG integer is the correct pixel format. So why is it having a temper tantrum?
No worries, this looks like normal programming to me, smiley face.
Graphics programming is a different layer of hell all on its own. have been so nice to have this, you know, being able to show this off and not having to end on nothing. Sounds like byte, it's RG8 UI. It's an integer.
Graphics programming was supposed to be the rewarding one because of the visual feedback.
Ha ha ha. Who told you that joke? And why is Asprite so fucking slow when I'm today? I don't even know. It's lagging like crazy. Come on, son. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, that's something. Yeah, so it's not right, but righter. At least it picks up the top ones, and those are displaying according to debug. So why is transparency black instead of white? That makes no sense. Is should be 0, 0. Oh wait, that's black. Yeah, that's correct because I'm outputting that, not. Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Looks like a problem with dimensions. No.
It's a problem with the texture upload for some reason. Let's see, maybe the size is incorrect. Reload with image. Size. Let's just add a check. Wait, size is in chunk, in tiles, not in. No, wait, that's correct. Yeah, okay. $40 by 60, expect a 40 by 26. 60 by 4. What? Okay, so the size is wrong. What? Oh. I'm pretty sure I created this with the correct size. Apparently not. Good on me. Wow, good job wasting everyone's time. 40 by 26. 26. Okay. Save. Port. Yes, okay, so that's looking good. There was one issue I had, which I discovered like this, but not the other one. Right, so... Okay, it's green and not white. Why? So it's this, not this. So the thing is flipped after all. So it's indexing 00 is up here and not down there. Yeah, I've been having a bit of a kerfuffle with UVs recently, and I think I actually need to revert a problem change I made. Nuggets. Namely, flip UVs. Yeah. Because the standard convention in images is top down, and I flipped it, which is not right. And I don't quite remember why I flipped it. I think in some cases the UVs are flipped. I don't know. So let me just... No, how do I revert? Not stash V. Revert. No. Wait, what? Wasn't there an easy thing to revert this? I forget. I should really remember more maggot stuff. Revert. Can I continue to downstage changes? Don't care about these changes. Okay, so that worked. Okay, and that should hopefully fix one of the issues. Yes, that movement was wrong. Okay, good. And now we need to do the flipping again. So, map xy dot y equals map. Any day. God damn it. Okay, good. Great. So now it's doing the lookup, and I guess it looking up at the top first is also fine. So, tilesets now work correctly. Rendering has been fixed. Hurrah! Hurrah, 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 indeed. Alright, so with that done, oh my god, so many changes. Fix a bunch of crap and maybe chunk rendering.
Great success.
Just barely over time. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I spent an hour going insane over that matrix multiplication thing. My god, that was something. Remember when they said static languages were great because the compiler would warn you ahead of time when there were issues? Yeah. Anyway, snark aside, that concludes one of the parts that I need to rewrite. I still need to rewrite everything else, which is updating of the tile maps so that you can edit them on the fly with the editor, and collision detection things need to be re-added, though I don't think I'll change much about that quite yet. There's a bug in the collision detection I need to fix at some point, but right now I'm not worrying about it. So that's things to do. And then we still need to fix the problem with the file format loading, where it doesn't have access to the actual image data. But once that's done, we'll be good. We'll be able to actually load and save levels, and we can move on to the next item on the list, which is creating new tilesets. So, well, new animations and new tilesets, which are 16 by 16 rather than the current 8 by 8 tile size. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get some more work done tomorrow on my own and clean up some more of those issues. But given how things have been going so far, I expect the stream tomorrow is going to be more cleanup, more fixing things, and hopefully being able to use the editor again and being able to load and save maps at the end of it. And then over the weekend, I'll do some drawing, some pixel art. Alright, thanks again for everyone who stuck around. Thanks for joining me, and yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow, because thank God it'll be Friday. Alright, but that's it for today, and yeah, good day to you.